What it is, Cullen, you good?
What's going on, dude? How are you?
Hey, we're just melting. Are you melting out that way? You're what, back in Memphis?
I am in air conditioning, so I am fine.
Set at what? I want to know.
I have it at 69.
Uh, d-
Appropriate. That's Cameron over there. I'm Jake. We're with the Cat in Oklahoma City,
Good to meet
and
you.
it's a hotbed for sleep theory here in OKC. You know this.
Yes, sir.
And we get you coming back. I'm so glad you agreed to come in. A lot of people, we don't really talk about it on the air, but this is what we call a fly-in date, where everybody basically flies in for the show. So your rider is all the equipment you need and whatever. But a lot of bands committing to the big festivals this year and pretty much every year. So we kind of have to piece together a lineup in a way that makes sense. And of course, headliners have to sign off and all that. But we're so glad to have you this year for sure.
Dude, we're super excited to be there. Seriously. Thank you so much.
Indeed,
Cam, how
Saturday,
do you
August
feel about it?
22nd. I feel great. Yeah, Saturday, August 22nd, Lucky Star Amphitheater. Ticket to cat.com/catfest. And yeah, man, it's gonna be a stacked lineup. I mean, I think you guys last played OKC, I think last fall-ish. At the
Yes.
Diamond Ballroom, and it was insanely packed and probably just as hot inside the Diamond Ballroom then as it's going to be outside for KATTFest.
Yeah, no, it was a good time. That's the if I'm correct, is that the venue that kind of looks like it was a skating rink?
Yes,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Big old Western dance floor that definitely has some all
Yeah.
skate vibes.
Yeah, we also played there in 2023 with Set It Off as an
Okay,
opener. Yeah.
nice, nice. But yeah, I just remember showing up and being like maybe not fully aware of how packed the show was going to be, and then pulling up and being like, "Oh, I didn't expect this."
Right. Well, yeah, it was a good night, man. It was a really good night. Super happy to be back out there.
Yeah, yeah, Oklahoma City's hotbed central because we have some great venues, like I'm sure you have back home as well. These legendary establishments that have, the Diamond is a good example for Oklahoma City, like Cain's and Tulsa Theater are for Tulsa, is that, they've been around decades. I mean, 40s, 50s, country and western dance hall. And, over the last couple of years, they've added to, expanded and made improvements to the facilities and really taken it up a notch. And that also elevates the live shows, when bands like you guys come in and play are great as well. And the same could be said about the Lucky Star Amphitheater. Wouldn't you agree, Cam, out in Concho for
Yeah,
KATTFest?
absolutely, man. It's yeah, it's great. And the great thing about Lucky Star Amphitheater is that because it's next to the casino, people can go in and refresh themselves with soft drinks or other beverages or maybe gamble. They don't have to stay out in the field all day. There are options.
But the Warriors stay out in the field.
That's true. Yeah, they're down in the pit, and like I'm
You
sure they will
stay
be
out in
for
the
Sleep
pit.
Theory.
I know you do. I've seen you out there moshing.
I, if only I'm in Mosh retirement. I think at this point, but
Right?
but now, Cullen, with Sleep Theory plays, do you guys have a preference of like, oh, we love playing, older theaters, or we love playing the more modern, House of Blues style venues or amphitheaters, or what's kind of your mindset of like, oh, this is my favorite?
It's always funny when people ask me these questions because like I really don't have a particular preference. I just kind of show up and I just kind of always play the show. I enjoy playing the big venues. I enjoy playing the outdoor venues. I enjoy playing the uh the old school venues. I enjoy playing the super small venues. Um, it just depends on the day or the time or the feel or I mean I never leave a venue being like, man, like, you know I don't like that we played here. It doesn't really matter to me. I'll probably have like a, man, that stage was small, but we made our, we worked around it. But I never, yeah, I just enjoy playing wherever. So I don't really have a preference.
At some point, you might have to start getting like nostalgic for the small venues because you guys are never going to be playing them again, right?
Yeah, it's really weird, man. Like we played small venue, like, and not being, like we do this and that, but I mean it's just like we didn't spend a lot of our career in small venues. It's like we played, our first tour with Shinedown. We were, we played a lot of these bigger venues. Um, I mean, they weren't like amphitheaters or like arenas, but they were like still sizable venues. Like 2,500, 3,000 cap, and that was our first tour. Um, and then like we played a few there here and there, but I mean like even for our first headline tour, we were playing venues that were pretty sizable. So it's been. I wish I could go back and play some small venues to experience it a little bit more, but I played a lot of small venues whenever I was kind of like up and coming as an artist. So in other bands before Sleep Theory.
Cool. Jake, do you have anything to add to that?
No, Cullen, I think, I always wonder, and I try to picture myself as if I was a band, your job is to go out there and rock for an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever. And you may or may not play the same set every night, but from your position, you just look out and you see faces, people getting into it and then or not. For me, I think just what you were touching on a minute ago about venues, I'm trying to think of like, how do you what do you take away from the shows other than okay, yeah, that place looked like a skating rink? Was there anything like when I talked to Ozzy once, he talked about getting wasted at Camelot up in Tulsa on one of the late Black Sabbath tours, and I'm like, just total random stuff. And you would think Ozzy had a squillion shows under his belt, which he did. So how do is it just another town, another phase? Or when you walk away from it, do you take something more away from it? I guess obviously now because of phones, you're probably doing lots of pictures, you're documenting everything and whatnot. But from a personal level, do you go away and go, man, I'd love to come back to Oklahoma City again?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, there's definitely experiences that shape a city and or a venue that like makes it more rememberable. So I mean, like, I have a weird memory with a lot of things. Like, so I'll remember fans from certain like conversations or like the shirt that they were wearing, and then whenever they were, this or that. Like, I remember at that venue there was a little girl that really wanted a picture. There was actually two separate occasions. Actually, the Set It Off tour, there was a little girl that we were able to her and her mom. We got her set list, and then we took pictures backstage with them. And then the other time, a grandmother brought both of her nieces, and I gave one a set list, and the other one was really like wanting something, so I had to make sure to give the other one a drumstick. But I took a picture over by where the like if you're facing the stage to the left, kind of like where they do the merch, I think. I took a picture with this little girl, and I think her grandmother sent me the picture. I either have it or it's online somewhere. I have a lot of pictures with a lot of different kids that like come to shows. I always try to remember to keep those, or even with fans, like ones that send them to me or give them to me. I keep them in my studio here. But yeah, I mean, like it's definitely rememberable things that happens at shows that really make you think, oh man, am I going to see this person again? Or oh, like that was funny because I took this picture here, or that this or that. So I mean, yeah.
Nice.
Well, too, you can look at it this way, Cam. I think you'd agree. I imagine there maybe some cases, for example, like Led Zeppelin. Back in 1975, I doubt they were taking pictures with little kids, and you know what I mean. It's like back then times are so much different, but I would say better now because of the ability to connect with fans on so many different levels. Back then they were protected, guarded. You wouldn't see them reaching out to fans, making those awesome connections like you're talking about. That's why I prefer nowadays. I think back and go, yeah, I'm a big fan of the 70s, 80s, 90s, and whatever. But nowadays, guys like you, Colin, I see something that's really cool. And when you you can hear about, yeah, the Diamond was packed the other night, or KATTFest was packed for the show on August 22nd. But when you actually spend time, watching videos, watching you guys do your thing, whether it's before show, during show, after show, you begin to get it. And I think now is a great time, especially for you as a musician, being in rock and music. And rock has been back for a while for sure. So,
Oh yeah, for sure. I think that there's been a lack of connectivity lately in a lot of the scene. I mean, like, and I don't know. I think that if there has been connectivity, it's more so for the look on socials rather than it being real connectivity. Um, and I don't know. I just remember whenever I was coming up, like people that really made a difference and or I don't know. I don't want to say made a difference, but the ones that really connected with their fans, and even still now, there's like there's artists that do, but the ones that really just take the time and just remember that, like I don't know,
well, you could say
it-
that about actors too. There's some people that love to act and they do it really well. So they do the red carpet thing really well. They're nice to everybody. And then there's actors that are jerks that don't want to do that stuff. I think same can be said for bands as well. And you're one of
yeah,
the bands that love what you do and you love not only entertaining people, but connecting with people. And it's really genuine. That's where I was going.
yeah. A few weeks ago, I forgot it was one of my friends that I was talking to, but they said, you're really kind, and they said you're not nice, you're kind. And they're like, there's a difference. There's whenever you're kind, it's like an embedded thing inside of someone. And they said when you're nice, you just do it long enough to where you're just doing it so you can get by. It's not like,
Yeah,
so
you can't
I
force
started,
kindness. You're just kind and it's something you feel, It's like, oh my God,
yeah,
I should.
and
Yeah.
that's something that I've definitely really been paying attention to. And it's something that stuck with me. Um, and it's just like, I've been really looking at, and there's nothing wrong with people being nice, but sometimes when people are being nice, there's there's different motives behind it.
Right.
So,
Like you're
but
saying, the look on social media, may score some points or whatever, but really, I think fans can sniff that stuff out real quick. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah, but yeah, that's just my little yap session.
No, I mean, I'm sure like that little girl or the little girls that you gave the drumstick in the set list to, they're going to remember that a whole lot more than a Instagram like or shout out or anything of that sort. But
Right.
uh, I know you've got another interview, so we got to let you go. But thank you so much for the
I
time,
appreciate your
Cullen.
time, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man,
Colin,
it's
looking forward to throwing down with you August 22nd, man. Bring it. It's going to be
Yes, sir.
awesome.
We're
I
gonna have a good
promise you.
time, boss.
You'll,
indeed,
you'll
yeah.
love the Cheyenne and Arapaho hospitality, my friend. You will, and you'll
It's gonna be a good
remember it.
time. I
All
cannot wait to
right.
see you guys, man.
All right, my
Indeed.
friend.
All
Chevelle,
right,
I
bye-bye.
Prevail, Sleep Theory, and more. Again, Saturday, August 22nd, KATTFest 2026. KATT.com/KATTFest. Thank you so much, Colin.
Thank you. Bye bye.